Hey DIYers, welcome back. So I need to protect my plants from freezing. I live here in the Houston, Texas area, and it's not common for us to get freezing temperatures, but starting tomorrow, it's supposed to get below freezing, and I don't want my plants to die. You know, you can already tell there's a couple here that are already dead, and I'll have to replace those this spring. But anyhow, so I built this raised tropical desert themed flower bed this past summer, and the plants are expensive. And so I need to protect them. And I got this idea, and I'll try to leave a link to the video if I can find it, to a video I watched about how to protect your plants from freezing. So my thought is to build a portable greenhouse. And I know some people are just out there putting plastic or sheets over their flower beds, and that's great. But me, I wanted something a little more. And didn't know it, but there's been a run on plastic here because of that. So that's what we're using. I've got some 3.5 mil 10 by 25 plastic, rebar, clothespins, and PEX tubing to make this. So let me get started. And this portable greenhouse, if you will, can be built to any size because you choose. So what I'm going to do here is take this rebar, push it into the ground. These are 2-foot length rebar that I just bought at the local home center. And I'm going to have 3 spots here on each side. I'm going to put 3 more over there in the same area. Now I'm going to take this PEX tubing, which is 1/2 inch by 100 foot, and make my loops or braces for my greenhouse. And basically, I shove it down on the rebar. I need the loop high enough to go over that. So that's about right there. Take some pipe cutters. It's a little flimsy right now, but don't worry. I got plans on how to make that stiffer. Probably could have been a little longer, but okay. And we'll rinse and repeat here. I have a little trick. Deal it from the inside. Don't cut this plastic off, otherwise it just goes everywhere. There. Now, one more. So now what I'm doing is taking the pipe, as you can see, and making 3 braces to help hold it up. And I probably might need to put a board or something right there to hold that. Now I'm just using concrete wire ties, 6-inch wire ties, taking it under each loop, being careful where I step. When I tie it, I gotta put the ties underneath, otherwise they stick out the top. I'll poke holes in my plastic. And I crisscross and put 1 each direction. Measure out a section of pipe, stick it on the rebar. So I got the framework to my portable greenhouse all done. For that back edge, what I did was took and cut some of this PEX, and I tied it with the rebar ties with the curve down so that I'm pulling it up like this, because the tendency of this stuff is to want to bend like this. And so if I tie it like that, it's going to bow it up and hold it up in the air. I did it on both sides, just on the back. And I still had to use a 2x4 in the center to hold it up. Now we'll get our plastic draped over here, and I'll show you how we're going to hook that all on. Alrighty, I draped my plastic over. Now I wanted to try and get a piece that would go all the way over, and I wouldn't have to use 2 pieces, but like I said, they had a run on the plastic at the local home center, and so 10 by 25 is all I could get. I need about 14 feet, so I'll just have to do 2 pieces. But I'm going to undo it. I've got a board down behind there. I'll get this down in behind there, and I'll roll it to hold it on the back side. I'll get this pulled out. Alrighty. Alright, I haven't got a choice, but I'm going to have to climb in there and get that board rolled. Pull this over. Ah, looks like we might just make it if I work it out just right. Okay, these clothespins, they should open up just enough for me. At least that's the hope. Yep. Clip them on. We're just gonna make it. There. Kind of pull it somewhat tight. If you got anything bigger than 1/2 inch PEX, these clothespins wouldn't work, in case you didn't know. So on days when it's gonna be nice, you can pull back your plastic, pin it up with a clothespin, and let them get some fresh air. And when you do that, you'll notice a lot of heat comes out of here. When the cold season's over in the spring, I just take it all apart and save it for next year. Now for across the bottom, I'm gonna run some string around the bottom to hold it. And like that, we have a portable greenhouse and protection against the plants in the freezing cold. Now I did put a couple boards here because I'm just a hair short on my plastic. I needed probably, it was 10 foot wide. I probably needed about 11, 12 foot, and it had been just perfect. But I think this will do. So we'll see how well this works when the freezing cold comes tomorrow. Now this is relatively inexpensive to build. Let's see, the PEX was about 35 bucks. The plastic was about $12. I actually got that at Harbor Freight. I got the PEX at Home Depot. The clothespins, I got those at Home Depot. They were like 5 bucks. The rebar I already had, but if you need to get the rebar, you can get 2 foot sections of 3/8 rebar from the home center for like 3, 4 bucks a piece. So I got, what, 9 of those, 36 bucks there. I already had the string, but if you had to buy the string, maybe 5 bucks. So what, maybe you got $80, $90 all the way in. Not bad. Now that sounds like a lot, but you got to consider, I got over $1,000 worth of plants under here. Plants aren't cheap, especially when I got that cactus and stuff. So to spend $100 to save $1,000, it's definitely well worth it. And again, it's portable. Next year, I pull it back out, put it back up, done. I don't have to make it. And all in all, with filming and everything, it took me maybe a couple hours to do. So leave me a comment. Think this is gonna work? Gonna fail? Let me know. If you want to know more about this raised flower bed, I'll have a link for you over here. You can go back and watch those videos and see how I made this. So hopefully this will cover us till the springtime. Till next time, happy DIYing.